Welcome back to Outdoors with Larry Ray, brought to you proudly by Tennessee Wildlife Resource Agency, Barton Power Sports, Sportsman's Warehouse, and Best Care Home Services.
Hey, welcome back to Outdoors with Larry Ray as we close in on the last two segments of today's show. And again,
don't time fly.
Have fun. When you're having fun, and we're definitely having fun on this special Saturday. Not only are we paying tribute to a man that has spent more than 34 years of service for the Tennessee Wildlife Resources Agency, a man who is born and raised here in Memphis and went to high school here in Memphis. And we're going to talk some more about Dave Gabbert, but also we want to welcome in all you listeners in the Brownsville and the Jackson area. We're really happy to be part of those radio stations up there, 95.3 up in Brownsville and 101.5 in Jackson, and UFM listeners out there. I have to talk like that because I know we're also on AM, but we'll talk about it. Yes, we are. Gene Smith is here.
Good morning.
Guy Trebo, we're saving him for the last because we have a great announcement to make about the website that Guy doesn't even know. So I just thought I'd prepare him from that as we get to that. We're talking to friends. We're talking to friends of Dave Gabbert. We've almost run out.
Sounds like a charity.
Yeah, we've almost run out. We only have about a few left.
Friends, very few
a lot of
friends.
money, but we done it.
Let's talk to a young man that we've got to know, thanks to Dave, and appreciate the job that he has done for the TWRA out of Region 1. He is the big game and the fur bearer coordinator, and that's our good friend Daniel Stanfield. Good morning, Daniel.
How you doing?
Doing great, man. We got Gabbert
tongue-tied.
No, he's never tongue-tied. I mean, he was
caught me by surprise a little bit.
Yeah, it kind of shook him.
Yeah.
Well, was he speechless? That's the key.
No, in fact, he talked more when he didn't know what was going to happen.
I'm never speechless.
No, he's not. And but he leaves some of us speechless. I know that, but you were going to be on the show. He had this format all set up and everything, and I told him we get set down here. Throw the format away. Okay, we could talk Region 1 deer hunting, in which I would like to talk to, but let's talk a little bit about your relationship to Dave and what he's meant in your young career. How long have you been with the agency now, Daniel?
I've been about 13, 14 years, I guess.
Oh, let's talk.
Isn't that long? I must be getting old.
You are getting old.
Like it just started yesterday.
Yeah, it does. Talk to us about Gabbert.
Oh, man, Gabbert, he was one of the, back then we called them old timers, guys that were there, been there for years. When these young guys, when we started, but man, the one thing about Mr. David I can always say is he's always been there. I came up through the enforcement ranks, and I was always wanting to push the trapper education, hunter education. Kind of go a little above and beyond and do these little programs to get kids outdoors. And he's always been right there, stood beside me, and he's always said, anything you need, you let me know. I'll make it happen.
And Dave,
so, I thank the world of that.
And Dave, you've always talked to me about that. Daniel's a little different than maybe some coordinators or something might be, because Daniel is not only big into analytics and things along that line, but he's also enjoys being at kids' events and things.
And one thing too about Daniel, he not only talks the talk, but he walks the walk. He's got the woodmanship experience.
He does.
Yeah.
And I think being the fur trapper man adds a lot to that, because he can do programs for different things. But Gabbert himself here, I know Dave. Talk about Daniel here, because he's talking a lot about you. I can tell when somebody really respects a person, and I love when people do that. I love to hear people call me Mr. Larry. You know what? I mean, nothing bad. Now, I'm not saying Daniel.
Well, we won't tell what your wife calls you.
No. Be serious for a change, okay? That the young man paid tribute to you by calling you Mr. Dave.
Mm-hmm.
And earlier we had somebody else said, I'm not saying that makes you old, but it means that Daniel respects you.
Yeah, that's just an old Southern tradition. I had to tell him, you call him Mr. Larry or Miss Shirley or somebody like that.
Yeah, or Miss Daisy.
Miss Daisy.
Yeah, driving Miss Daisy.
Mm-hmm.
But and Daniel, I assume you do respect this man, don't you?
Oh, absolutely.
And because?
Well, because one, he's a wealth of knowledge. He's been there, he's done that, and I'd say Mr. Dave and then Mr. Rizzuto, and there's a lot of misters around the agency.
There
here,
is.
And one thing they've always strived is a lot of us younger guys coming up. They always try to make sure we do it the right way and have what we need to do our jobs every day.
And share with
so
you.
that means a lot.
Yeah, it shares it. I know that in this day and time, being a senior adult, I mean, it won't be long till I'll be middle-aged for a 150-year-old man. Yeah. And you're only as old as you feel. And I think some of our kids today, nothing against you, you're still a kid, Daniel. I'm sorry. You're a young man. I know that. But respect means a lot. And I think in the TWRA, you guys in other parts, and I may be blowing the horn here, other parts, respect is an important part of your job.
Amen.
With the TWRA.
Yes, it is.
I mean,
it is.
Whether it's a fishing rodeo, whether it's a hunter education class, it might be. And, hey, if somebody comes up and say, hey, you taught my granddad, that's not bad.
No.
That's not bad at all. And I know in your position, how often do you get a chance to rub shoulders with a guy that's been – and I'm looking around. We've already talked to most of them today. 30 years guy, 28 years, 34 years. And, Daniel, you're 13 years. I know what Dave was just saying. It felt like yesterday. But how often do people get a chance to spend 13 years in a job they love and learn from people around them?
Been there and done
and
that.
Like their job.
Not many people get that opportunity.
Yeah, and like their job.
Like their job, right.
And everybody knows all you do is deer hunt, Daniel. I mean, that's
yeah.
Right?
I wish that was the case.
Yeah, you wish that the case, but I know this is all about Gabbert, but can we ask him one question about deer hunting here?
Yeah.
Would that mind you if I...
He's a deer guy.
Yeah. Your thoughts on the season?
I think it was a lot better than what the majority of the hunters are talking about or anticipating. I ran a bunch of the numbers. I don't have them in front of me. Yes, it was down statewide.
Yeah.
But when you start breaking it down and looking why it's down, one county may be down 100 deer, another one might be 50. Yeah. But then again, another county might be up. But when you start looking at trends, and that's one thing you got to remember is from year 1 to year 2 to year 3, you're not going to always have a continuing increase in the harvest. It's going to plateau and it's going to fall down. It's weather dependent. It's food dependent. So that's a healthy herd. We look at trends over time, and you had a really wild. We talked about this, I guess, last time I was on there.
Yeah.
You had a really large mass crop this year. You went from deer hunting in 70-degree weather. A few weeks later, you're hunting in 7-degree weather.
That's right.
So that has a big influential factor there about what the harvest was.
And also that now is comment time, right, Dave?
Yeah, that's right.
One of your jobs.
Yeah.
I think it's through the middle of the month of February or something like that. And, Daniel, this is the time. I had a guy send me a copy of a letter he was sending to the TWRA, and he said, do you think they'll look at this? I said, yeah, they're going to look at everything that you send. It's the ones who don't send is the ones that gripe. And
that's right.
You guys, you'll take all that data, put it together, and then, of course, the commission makes the decisions. But be sure right now, folks, I guess you can go to tnwildlife.org and find...
Yeah, they'll give you all the instructions.
All the instructions on doing that. But, okay, I've asked everybody, Daniel, one word to describe David Glenn Gabbert here. What would be that one word if you had to describe Dave?
Shooter.
Yeah.
That's another one. We have not had the same person say the same thing.
Yeah. Man of many talents.
That is scary.
Yeah.
That's
kind of schizophrenic.
And you say that because this man loves to shoot, right?
Yeah, yes, he
does. He does. He's the only person I've been in a duck blind beside, and he shoots ducks with black powder.
Yeah. And he'll scare you when he shoots, too.
He does.
And the only reason I'm not using a flintlock is I'm afraid I'll catch the blind on fire.
Yeah.
We would not want that to happen.
I won't.
Hey, Daniel, thank you, buddy, for being with us, and we'll talk
to
you.
Guys.
We'll talk to you down the road for real. But I just want to let you in on this part of this special show for Dave Gabbert and what he's meant for all of his friends, and we're about to run out of them. But no, no. But for what he means to the agency, and you stay in touch, okay, Daniel?
I will, guys. Y'all have a good one.
All right, thank you. All right, Daniel Stanfield.
I was talking to Daniel.
Yeah.
Earlier, and said, have you read the crazy thing on my online? The story that the Canadian researchers put out.
Yes, I did.
Talking about zombie deer.
Yeah, zombie deer. You folks out there in radio land, zombie deer.
Zombie deer. They're afraid. They're pushing the propaganda. You eat a deer with CWD, you're going to come down with a zombie disease. And I'm going, it's been first diagnosed 50 years ago. It had been around longer than that.
Well, what you're going out with the zombie disease now? Yeah. They could name it after you.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I didn't think about that or anything.
Glenn
Okay,
Zombie.
let's take a break on Outdoors with Larry Ray. Come back, and we're going to wrap up
Go
today's
get you a cup
show
of coffee.
with one more special guest, and then we'll talk to Dave a little bit about his life and what he plans to do in the future on Outdoors with Larry Ray.